Photography is the top factor when it comes to conversion rates sa Amazon. Meaning on convincing your customers to actually buy your product, right? All the keywords, I've tried testing some of it so far, pero from the limited test that I've done with Splitly, hindi ganun kalaki yung factor niya. Meaning na even if you have something convincing there, most of your customers wouldn't actually read them. Which is the reason kung bakit you have customers like the other day complaining that the product is small, even if we actually did identify na doon sa bullets that the product is small, right? Pero the thing that I've tested is the capability of images to increase yung conversion rate mo. So it's really good. You can even double yung conversion rate mo depending on how you do it. Which is the reason on why Amazon has a very strict, very detailed guideline when it comes to product photography, right? So these are the general requirements ni Amazon. Doon muna natin unahin. So in a sense, you have to follow this, else either they would block your listing or flag it, right? First is yung kanyang size should be 3,000 pixel to 10,000 pixel to 10K. So minimum is 3K pixel. Maximum is maximum is 10K. Hindi ka makakapag-upload ng images na more than 10K pixels in length and width. And my system, you can upload less than 3K pixel. Ang problem sa kanya, Amazon has this feature that would allow you to zoom in into the product. Like this. Which is a big factor in the conversion rate. Yeah. And this is only activated once na yung image mo is 1K pixel or more, right? Another thing is that ideally, it's not a requirement, ideally the image should be square. The main reason behind that is kung hindi square yung image mo, like yung IM bug natin. Let's see yung IM bug. Current listing.
Ay, wait. Question pala. Will we launch IM Mug on all 7?
Yeah.
So, ito, US to. So, you must differentiate this. Kasi we'll do the same...
Yeah. Or sa sheet name mismo.
Sheet
Sa yung pangalan ng sheet, maybe do US keyword PR or whatnot. Depende kung paano natin i-organize. Pero yes, definitely we need to segregate it.
Okay.
So imagine this. This is a square image. It definitely doesn't have that much effect kasi hindi niya na ma-maximize yung screen. This is more prominent pag nasa mobile. Which is the reason kung bakit it's suggested now na, well, it's a very good idea to have it in square. Some of them even do rectangular vertical image para make it mobile optimized, and that's something that we can play for. Pero now, most of the time I just ask the photographer to do it in square. RGB color mode, I'm not sure kung bakit ko nilagay na requirement to. It seems one of the general parang suggested requirement for Amazon photography. Just to make the editing easy and simple. This is a requirement ng Amazon in terms of file type. Either JPEG or GIF ka lang. This is another requirement ng Amazon, pero they don't implement this. Na parang it's a convention on how you name your product. Pero I still ask our photographers to do this para lang mas madali rin i-organize on our side. Pag binigay niya sa atin yung file, at least hindi nakapangalan ng image 1 copy, image 1, etc. Right? Parang organization sake. So parang asyn plus yung, ito nga pang ginawa ko standard dito. Asyn followed by optional 4-character variant from file extension. Asyn, ito yung asyn mode, tapos dash something kung ano may gusto niya. Okay? So, this is the general requirement in photos. Pero Amazon also outlined as requirement for the main image. Ito image na to.
Yung una.
Yes, yung una. This has practically the biggest factor when it comes to conversion rate and click rate. Meaning na for people searching for a product. When people search for a product, Amazon outlines the list of products depending on the keywords, like I mentioned earlier. Pero on what the actual customer actually clicks, the image has a bigger factor. Most of the time, yung title mo kasi is so long that most customers don't read it. Pero most customers would actually either, one, look at the main image, see if it looks good, maybe look at the reviews, it's mataas na review, and then click, right? And even for us, when we tested it, when it comes to conversion, ang laki ng factor ng main image. Because the reason on why Amazon actually did outline a set of additional requirements just for the main image itself. So meaning na this is still a requirement itong aliman to, pero additional requirement for the main image is one,
Really, white
it
background.
needs to be white background. Just the main image. It needs to be in white background. And you'd see it would actually flag products like yung IM mark, it's flagged because the main image is not pure white. Yeah, I'm not sure kung ano nangyari yan. Pero yeah, they would flag product if it's not white. The reason why this is flagged is because hindi white yung background natin. Pinalitan ko na nga yan eh. I'm not sure kung bakit hindi pa rin yun. Anyway, next. Props are generally not allowed. Ideally, parang they're more inclined towards not allowed. Let me define that statement. Props are allowed as long as it wouldn't confuse the customer that is included in on what you're selling. Meaning, for example, if you're selling a cell phone case and you put a phone there just to accentuate the case, some customers might assume na parang it's phone included, or vice versa, right? So if there's a big chance that your customers are going to assume that the props would be included in the product, and dapat wala yun. But of course, the reverse is true. Kasi most of the time, the props actually help in displaying yung use case ng product mo, right? If the props doesn't have, it wouldn't cause confusion. For example, ang main image mo sa Discover is this one. May prop ka which shows the hands. Obvious naman yung link sa amin kung may sa binibenta mo, what you're selling is object. And then that is something you can play around with. That is something that you may add. For some products, what they do to help accentuate that further is yung props, ginagawa nilang grayscale. And then yung product mo lang yung naka-color. So you may play around with that. Pero the general idea in this requirement is that the customers won't be confused on what is included in the product you're selling. Okay? Lastly, yung product mo should fill 85% of the square. White image ka, right? And the thing with white image is ito nga, nakita nga lang ako bakit di pa yan napa-flag eh. Technically, hindi white yung image mo eh. So, kung yung white image mo, it blends well with the background ng system mo. Kung maliit yan masyado, kumbaga, it would look ugly. Kumbaga, so dapat ideally, it fills out almost a big chunk of the entire square. Like this one. For this product alone, kaya ito pa rin yung main images kasi this is still working eh. I tried A-B testing between these two. This bit out, this is a main image by 20%. Eh. So parang, hindi pa naman siya na-flag. Pero ideally, you should abide by the rules kasi every now and then they actually flag that. So yeah. So yun yung requirement for the main image. So main image mo should be white. The rest can actually be colored. Walang issue. So overall, you have slots for about 7 images. Some products have 9. Pero ideally, that means you have 7 images to play around with. It is highly advisable that you have images for all of them. Para ma-fill mo sa kanya so that customers can actually see the product line.
Wait, ano yung 9?
Huh?
Wait, 9?
So you actually have space for about 7 images. Like this one, you have 7 images. For some categories, it can be expanded into 9, pero that is dependent on Amazon. Right?
Categories like?
I'm not sure, pero merong iba na sa yung images. Pero sa atin, at least with that, what we're working on is 4 lang, at ito lang. Still, the general rule of thumb there is that you maximize the number of slots that you have for your images. Kasi it matters, right? So, what are the kind of images that you can take? Well, Jungle Scout has 3 variations na parang they suggest. One is what they call the parang so this is a main image. So parang it's obvious naman. Well, this one you can argue na if it's obvious or not na yung mukha, hindi kasama yung mukha. Pero ito yung sinasabi ko na isa na sometimes they grayscale yung props to highlight yung image na. So those are the kind of images you can play around with. So one is definitely the main image, product image shot. Another sample is an image shot of what is included in the product. So you can argue that you can put it as one of the 7. And then lastly, shots like this, which is called lifestyle shots. Right? So parang beautiful shot, professionally taken shot, parang showing how the product's being used. So parang you play around with those 3 kind of images. So for example, for us, for this listing, these are like yung product detail shot. Right? This is yung parang, okay, actually yung first 3 are product detail shot in a sense. Parang showing the product and what is included in there. A infographic shot. So parang sinasuggest na sometimes putting infographic is good. Either to outline a main feature or to display the size like this one. And then these 3 would fall under lifestyle shots. So it's a mix and match between those. Ikaw yung dapat mag-outline kung ilan yung shot na gusto mo sa kanya. So most of the time, when we push a product to a photographer, we ask for a lot of variation. So even if we require 7 images, we ask them to take maybe 20, 30 to maximize what they need. Just because one, we need room for testing. So sometimes a single factor like how the product is arranged can have a lot of effect in the conversion rate. The problem is we don't know yet what would work or what would not. So that's the reason on why for the main image and probably the second and third image, we would ask for variation. So when you provide instruction, you actually need to show them how they want it to be taken. I mean, we can ask the photographer to parang like to use their creativity. But if you want to test a specific shot, you'd have to show them, okay, please shoot me something like this one, right? So that's the reason bakit, okay, you have a list of shots that you would want for the main image. How do you determine what shots can you take in samples? The good reference there is look at your competition. So for example, for IM1, the first line of reference na I would take when trying to see what models would work in terms of shot is I would look at my competitors, which I can find through, nilist out ba natin yung top competitors na natin? Hindi pa. I can find by copying itong ASIN, going into Helium 10. Although this would work lang kung naka-update yung listing mo eh. Siguro what you can do is yung put yung top ranking keyword mo. Camera lens coffee mug. Sige, tingnan natin yan. Yan na lang. Search natin siya sa Amazon. All departments to cover everything. Camera lens coffee mug. And then I would look at all of the top competitors there. Kaya nga maganda mag-build ka na rin ng competitor list. I mean, it's actually something that we use often in a lot of the process of making. So that's the reason why initially I was planning to put that as part of the product dashboard. I just haven't figured out kung paano siya mapasok na medyo maayos. And then I'll look at all of the listings of all of these top cameras na lumalabas so that I can use them as a reference. Maybe this one would be good too. Yep. This one. See, simple variation. Like this is something that we can try. Patayo. Then another shot na pahiga ka. Maybe this is something we can try. Tingnan natin siya. Ano pa yung medyo na iba. Oh, nakatayo yung lead na ganyan. Simple like that. Sige, tingnan natin yan. That might be a good reference. Naka-display lahat ng produkto mo. That's good. Natin yan. Okay. We have a good set of competitors. Now I would look at all of them listing. And parang ito, this is the subjectivity part. Now I would try to define kung ano yung ano. So I'll create a new sheet. Kasi ito na yung sheet na i-share ko with our ganda i-copy ko yung sheet. Ito siya pa-process. Paano ito i-copy? Make a copy. Tayo mag I'll start outlining images that I would want her to take doon isa-isa. So, tingnan natin sila. Let's daanan muna natin sila isa-isa. Just want to see kung ano yung variation nila. So this is the top seller, right? So this is where this guy would be a very good na reference. See, oh. Pangit ng rectangle eh. Probably a shot like this as a lifestyle shot requirement. Pero full square, that would be nice. Shot like this. That's a good use case. Nice. Nice. Okay. So muna, I'll list out. Mamaya ko na siya i-arrange sa dulo na. Pero I'll put it sa baba na parang, okay. This is a list of main images shot that I want. So samples. So white background na image. So I'll ask her to choose something like this. Naka-outline lahat ng mga props. Ito na lang kaya. Sige. Something like this na naka-outline lahat ng mga props kasama ng product. That would be one variation. And then, just for testing sake, kunin na rin natin yung pangalawang image where nakasama yung box as another main image variation. So yeah, so practically it's just this, parang giving her ideas of the shot list that you want, right? Ano pa for the main image? Let's see the others. Look at this, parang sinama niya yung main image from some infographic of how the top look, nakabukasan, how the look looks. So parang it's infographic plus in the main image. Okay, a variation of this would also be nice. Subukan natin siya.
Ewan ko kaya sa Notion yung parang gallery view.
What's that? So that would...
Notion.
Oh, that would be better. Kaya tayo niya. Anything unique dito? Wala na. Something like this. So nakahiwala yung cup. That would be nice too. Ano natin? Main image shot.
20 yan.
Ha?
20.
Yeah.
Samples.
Siguro mga 20 shots or what. I mean, right now I'm playing it by ear. Lalo na for the main image, it's one of the most important ones. So parang you have to cover as much as possible. You see, yung problema dyan, somehow you would want to differentiate yourself din. Kasi kumukha mo lang sila lahat. Your listing won't stand out as product one. So although I want something like this one, I may also want to have her shoot something that would look different with the other competitors. For example, for them, lahat sila ganito na ginagawa. Which is the reason why I think this guy tried yung nakabaksak na view. Yung nakabaksak na view.
Excuse me.
I think that's the reason kung bakit niya sinat niya. And now I would ask the photographer to also take something like this one. That's a good variation to try. I think we covered all of the variations na ng product, right? At least from the current set of competitors na pwede. Okay? Any of the shots ng competition that I would like to take simultaneously. So a use case, this is a lifestyle shot. So probably I'll ask her to take a lifestyle shot where it is being drank by someone working. So I'll take this so that I can instruct her later. Lifestyle. Under lifestyle. Let's take something like that. Pen holder. Do I really like this? Obvious na kinuha natin sa kanya kasi siya lang yung may ganun. Might as well. Lifestyle lang naman. I'll ask her to put a couple of lifestyle shot variation. Just to give her an idea rin of what she can play around with when she's capturing it. We can easily beat this competition in terms of images kasi tinanong all of the others doesn't even do lifestyle. A good lifestyle shot is one of the things that would be nice. That's not really that good.
Siguro merong coffee bean or something somewhere.
Yeah, good idea. Shot with coffee bean. Let's note that down. Shot with coffee bean. Okay.
May budget ba tayo for him sa
We do pay for, sinisingil natin sila sa photography. So parang minor
sinisingil natin sila?
They pay for photography pero we manage it.
Ulit.
Sila yung nagawa ng photography tayo. So we just manage it. So yun. So look at this one. Ang totoong paganda naman dito, they actually do have infographic. So maybe we can also ask her to do this as part of the infographic shot. That would be a good addition. So this is another type, infographic shot. So highlight natin lahat ng value proposition ng product. May mga infographic niya. Sitting lead, detailed replica.
May clickable yung sa atin, di ba?
It's nice, oh. It's a very,
Ay, nice. Nice yan.
This one is good in terms of actual kind of images that he produces, pero hindi lang siya square. That would have mattered kung square siya. Pero I guess that's the reason why it's also very top rated. Meron pa siyang i-optimize pero maganda. Sige, something like this is a photography. Yan na, may hirapan tayong mag-hire ng model. Well, for the meantime siguro, we can do by hand. Nasa yung lifestyle natin. Lifestyle. It would fall under lifestyle. Any other lifestyle shot that we want? Wala naman tayong USB. So, okay lang. Capacity. An infographic on the capacity.
And size.
And size. So, note na lang natin na we might want an infographic on the capacity and size. Infographic on capacity and size. That would be a nice reference. Okay, any others? Look at this one. Pangit.
What's that?
This is a good visualization of being leak-proof. Interesting.
Leak-proof?
Leak-proof.
Paano leak-proof kung may tubig?
They're saying na competitor yung isa.
Ah.
Actually, having a shot na may coffee beans mo. Actually, having a shot with the coffee makes sense, right? Let's see. Shot with the coffee bean. Anything else? Ito, tinan mo. Sinubukan niya ilagay infographic sa
Isa
isang
lang.
screen lang. So that might be, I mean, the idea makes sense. Pero the
1, 2,
images,
3, okay.
the idea makes sense, pero the implementation sucks.
Tapos ginagamit yung orange, no?
Not even sure why eh. Parang nagaya din na siguro yan.
Amazon.
Siguro. But this is a good listing. See, one of the listing strategy that they implement like characters like that to make it stand out. Sa simula.
Sa atin, di ba may check?
Wala sa atin.
Ay, hindi. Yung ibang listing natin yun.
Wala, I haven't implemented that. Ay,
Meron.
implement ko ba? Baka sinubukan ko kasi I'm trying to test kung it actually matters. Hindi ko pa alam kung ano yung resulta. Okay, anything else sa competitor natin that we'd like to note? Wala na. Okay, so references to competitor is done. Pero like I mentioned, if you just follow the competition, malamang-lamang you wouldn't really be able to go over them. Kasi what you really want is to stand out. The reason why we still start with competition is definitely you want to beat them, pero one of the things you don't want to happen is lag behind. So at least to give yourself a reference kung nasan sila. Pero for me, to determine kung what are the nicer set of features that we can take, so usually I would do a Google search. So I would search the top keywords in Google and then look at the sample images. Kasi most of the time, a lot of people are selling this in e-commerce directly from their website, and most of the time they actually have the good images. So let's start with that. Let's search for camera lens coffee mug in Google. And let's see what kind of images we can, lalo na for lifestyle. This is a good avenue to do lifestyle. This one, it's very nice. My cookie. Oh, my heart na ano. Oh, look at this one. So ikaw, what do you think stand out on your personality? This? Is this nice? When you say coffee bean, ito ba yung nakikita mo?
Di.
Look at this.
Okay yung may hawak. Ay, wala palang hawakan yun sa atin.
How about this a lifestyle?
Yeah.
Nice na. Sige, lifestyle. Walang hawakan nyo sa atin. That's a nice shot though. Look at this. If we can go do this as a main image shot. Baga same picture. Wala lang background. This would be nice. Yan,
Unique
that would be unique.
and worth testing.
Or even, kahit na yung wag ganyan eh, parang just as show na parang coffee is being poured in, pero in white background. Right? So parang we can do use this on sa main image. But this would be nice. Kasi if you'd see, wala silang ganyan na shot. That might be our unique. So I'll prioritize that as one of the images na kukunin niya. Yes, let's do that. Alam mo, I would assume na mahirap kunan yung ganyan shot. Ito yung naiisip ko. Maybe she could Photoshop that in. Photoshop na lang yung spilling coffee effect.
Pwede i-set up yun, yung ganon. Kung maganda talaga yung camera niya.
Anything that stand out, palagay mo. This is an action shot of actually using it. Let's grab that for lifestyle. Mamaya na natin i-filter. Kumbaga ngayon is more like grab lang natin what fancies are and tsaka natin siya i-filter isa-isa. Siguro a shot of it being held by hand as a main image shot. And if we couldn't really pull off yung if we couldn't really pull, in case na we don't manage to pull off yung yung pouring coffee na shot. Yeah, this in a white background. I am actually shocked na walang masyadong lifestyle shot of this one. Same ones. There's a nice infographic.
Parang liit niya from there, parang hindi nice.
Yung that's a good one. I mean, it's just a strategy lang naman yung inaan natin sa kanya. Definitely she should be able to take a shot na maayos tingnan. A photo of someone actually sipping it. Might be nice na yun. Yan, kailangan mo ng face model dyan, yun na mahirap. Pero, for the meantime, lifestyle shots. Covered na ba? We covered ano yung mga common na search term pa natin? Let's say coffee ba? I would assume na may mas maraming lifestyle shot under coffee. Coffee. Just so that we have a sample lifestyle shot. What I'm looking for is like a nice shot of someone drinking coffee. Nice shot of the mug. And then parang we can just easily replicate that.
Pwede mo search camera lens, mug, lifestyle.
Camera, lens, like, wala. Ito. Naka-outline ng ganyan lahat ng parts. Looks good. Grab ko na nga rin to. Just to give him an idea. Parang she can use props. Yeah? But you see the process. Practically, this is the process that we do in photography. We need to, unfortunately, medyo, the photographers need instruction pa rin. Parang, they need the shot references. Of course, additional dito, you'd ask them to, like, try to, if they think of anything else, they have to they have the flexibility to something like this. Flexibility to take that shot themselves. Pero yeah, we give them a shot list just so that lalo na yung mga items that we actually want to test. For example, for me, I identify the shot as something I want to test. So that's the reason why I specifically gave her that and that. Aside from the other na let's do that by default. And then the rest, just give me 20 images with a nice progression of lifestyle shots, product detail shots, infographics. Then that's it. Any questions? So photography. That's practically photography. So I'll just clean this instruction up and then send it to her and then CC kita.
So, photography, her, copy, him.
Yes. Parang both we outsource, pero we are still the judge. Ang nasa atin pa rin yung judgment in terms of quality. Questions on photography? Okay.